Good afternoon, friends. I am Professor Jitin Patel and I am working as an assistant professor in the area of marketing in Prestige Institute of Management and Research. In our last video, we have seen characteristics of services and service definitions. Today we are going to proceed further in classification and challenges of services. I will provide the link in the description box of my last video so that you can refer to it. The main objective for this lecture are classifications of services and challenges of service marketing. So these will be our learning objective for today. We will be covering classifications of services and as well as the challenges of service marketing. So now let us begin with classification of services. So the first and the foremost classification of the services is based on the orientations. Here the services are classified into three basic categories. First is non-profit, second is not-for-profit, and third is for-profit. Non-profit services. Non-profit services are those services which are provided by particularly government at a very nominal or at a free cost. Their main objective is not to gain profit or revenue from the services, but to basically provide the services to common citizens of a particular country. Majority of times government provide these services. These are called as non-profit services. The major criteria is to execute this service properly so that the service should reach to every citizens. The second is called as not-for-profit services. These are being run by charitable institute where the main aim of the organization is not to earn the profit but to gain more and more charity for their organization, as well as they charge a nominal fees just to make their operations working. All sort of charitable hospitals, charitable organizations, different trusts and NGOs follow not-for-profit orientation model. For-profit services are also called as commercial services, where the main aim of the service provider is to gain profit out of the services. So these are the three classifications which are based on the orientation: not-profit, not-for-profit, and for-profit. The second classification is based on the tangibility. So services are provided for tangible goods. So if the services are provided for tangible goods, customer have to buy these goods before taking the services. They comes in the category of after sale services, reparations, alterations, machines reparations, and all other things comes into this particular tangible goods services, where the services are given to tangible goods which are purchased by the customers. While there are some services in which you need to take tangible goods, so this is service provided this is service provided to tangible goods. While there are tangible goods to provide a service. For taking some services, we need some sort of tangible goods. The example is when we go to a cinema hall, and if it is a 3D or a three-dimensional movie, so they provide us with a glasses, which is a tangible good attached to a particular service. So this is the second classification based on the tangibility of the services. Let us move to the third classification. So the third classification is on the basis of who is taking the services. So end users. Here the services are divided into again three major categories. First one are called as consumer services. The second one are called as B2B services. The third is called as industrial services. Services which are given to the end user or the consumers like grooming, education, surgery, these comes under the category of where the end user is the consumer himself. So these comes under the category of the first category, that is consumer services. B2B services like consultancies, IT assignments, these are being given by an organization to an organization for solving their problem. So these types of services comes into the category of B2B services. The third services like machine erections, machine reparations, they have been provided to the industrial people. So these are this is the second this is the third classification based on the end users of the company. Moving forward, let us now see consumer services. So consumer services are again being divided into different parameters. The first one is called as intangible services. Or pure services. Pure services are those services where the output is basically intangible. Education, insurance, as well as tax preparation can comes into this particular example. Then comes non-good services. Non-good services are those services where you don't need a good to basically do the service. The tax preparation can be one example. Then in consumer services, consumers basically have owned good. So these services are basically provided to the own goods service, to the own goods or with the goods which are owned by the consumers. The example can be repair of a car, alterations of our own clothes, laundry and all others. While there are services which are basically provided on the rented goods. So here the consumer don't buy the good but rent them. Movie rental can be one example. Subscriptions of a channel can be yet another example. For cleaning up your home, you a sofa cleaner or a vacuum cleaner. So that can be one example. So here the consumer services are again divided into pure services, non-good services, own good services and rented good services. Moving forward. The next classification is on the basis of skills and expertise of the service provider. As we have seen in the last video that skill and expertise of service provider, because services are inseparable and they cannot be separated by the service provider. So skill and expertise of the service provider also plays an important role. So there are some services which comes under professional services. Where the service providers skills and expertise plays a very important role. Legal services, services of a doctor or an educationist comes under this particular thing. The second one are called as non-professional services, where you don't need any sort of skill or you don't need a particular expertise for giving that services. Housekeeping can be one example. Babysitting can be another. So this is the fourth classification based on the skills and expertise of the service provider. Moving forward, service marketing basically classify the service on the basis of two other parameters also. The first is based on the tangibility of the services and to whom the services are given. So how tangible the services in case of output. So the output is tangible or intangible, while who is taking the services? It is the consumers themselves or things. Here things means goods. So let us draw a quadrant and then we will understand that where all the parameters of different services are classified. So as you can see, there are four quadrants. So the service can be The output can be tangible, it can be, the services can be provided on consumers, and it can be provided on things, as well as service output of the service can be tangible and intangible. So let us first see this this service. The service is provided on the things and the output is tangible. Here the consumer need not to be present for the overall services. He has to initiate the service and to terminate the services. The examples are laundry and freight transport. Or a courier service. So when we go to a courier service, so we need to initiate the service. The services are given on things, as well as the services are given on things. Laundry is also one of the services which is given on the things, that is our cloth. We need to initiate the service by telling the laundryman what are the different things which are needed, and we need to basically terminate the service when our cloth will be cleaned up. So then we basically go and take that. Now the second services are provided on consumers and the output is tangible. Here the consumer need to be present when the services are given. Some example can be going to a gym, healthcare. So consumer have to be present here while he is doing a gym and healthcare services. He will be feeling healthy, he will be more fit after doing the things, so the output will be tangible and the consumer presence is basically required. Now here consumer's presence is required but the output is intangible, which again means there are services like education, cinema. These are the services where the output is intangible, like if you watch a good movie, so the output is intangible. Education is again, the output is intangible, while consumer need to be present physically for taking these services. Services which are provided to the things and you need not to be present there as a consumer are the services which where the output is intangible. The example can be insurance, EMI and legal services. So here the consumer need not to be present. Insurance, EMI, they all basically have a particular date on which they basically cut down. So this is where the consumers are needed. So in this you need to just initiate the service and you need to just come when the service get finished. Here as a consumer you need to be in the services like healthcare, gym, haircut, intangible, but the outputs are tangible. Here the intangible outputs are there and your presence is required. So you as a consumer need to be there in the college, you need to be there in the cinema to enjoy these services. Here the services are given on things but they basically have an intangible output and your presence is not required. Classification of the services on the basis of customization. Services can be personalized or can be standardized as well as they can be customized. While there are some services where there is a low customization, and there are some services where the high customization is there, as well as the judgment of the service provider always plays an important role. So let us see this. Service can be highly customized and can be customized in a low parameters. So this is level of customization. While this is judgment of a service provider. Or his skills and expertise. So in a class with more students, the level of customization is very low, but the judgment of service provider plays an important role. Health checkup camp or healthcare camps which are being organized by the different organizations, the customization is low, but the judgment of the service provider plays an important role in it. Here the services like real estate, it can be highly customized. A private tuition can be a highly customized service, and the judgment of a service provider also plays a very high role. Services where the level of customization is high, but service provider plays a very have a very low role to play, can be, the example can be fast food restaurants, where the customization can be high, but you don't listen to what the service provider is saying you. Okay. Another example can be the telecommunication services. So there are different customized plan for you, and the judgment of the service provider plays a very less role in you selecting these things. While there are some services where both the things are low, even the customization is low and the judgment of the service provider is low. Public transport can be one example. So here the services on the basis of customizations can be divided into high and low customizations, while the judgment of a service provider plays a high or a low role. So if the judgment of the service provider is high and the customization is low, so class with more students can be one example. Healthcare camp. So healthcare camps and class with large number of students are classified basically on the basis of judgment taken by the class teacher and the doctors. Here the customization and judgment of the service provider both are high. So real estate, you can customize your house as well as you take the suggestion of a service provider. Private tuition is where you take the judgment of the service provider as well as you can customize your tuition. The customization level remains high in a fast food restaurant and a telecommunication services, but the judgment of the service provider plays a very less role. Public transport and any other public services where the judgment of the service provider is also low as well as the customization is also low. So this ends up the classifications of services. Now let us move to our next topic, which is called as challenges in service marketing. Service marketing is basically a very difficult thing to market. Services have some basic challenge, and their basic characteristics are basically posed as a challenges. So let us see one by one what are the different challenges. The first and a foremost challenge of a service, it's its first characteristics, which is intangible. Services are basically intangible in nature. So a provider or a service provider or a service marketer doesn't have anything to show that what the service will look like and how the service will be there. So as a consumers, you need to consume the service to experience the service. As a service provider or a service marketer, we try to basically adds tangibility to the services. Physical evidence is something through which we can add the tangibility to the services. So we give bills, reports, any written document just to add tangibility to the services, as well as trial purchase, trial subscriptions, demo classes. They are the tools which are used to increase the tangibility of the services. Coaching classes and all other basically use them very firmly. They gives the trial purchase or a demo class to the student. Services tangibility can also be enhanced through the internet by providing some sort of electronic brochure, as well as updating the website, showing up the videos of how the service will be given. So this is the first challenge, which is called as intangibility. The second challenge is improving and maintaining quality. Service are basically heterogeneous in nature, and quality measurement always plays a very important role in service. Quality is a very big issue in service. Firms always try to give a standardized and a high quality thing to the services to the customers, but sometimes improving and maintaining the quality remains a very crucial aspect. Tools like SurveyQuell, Gap model helps us out in measuring the quality. As a service provider, we should try to maintain the standardized quality so that the overall service can be improved, and you can provide a consistent quality service to the consumers. The third challenge is showing empathy. Empathy is basically a very important parameter in services. Majority of times, service providers tries to give you the solution, not to try to understand your problem as a consumer. So, as a service provider, you must understand what is the problem of the consumer, and you must show empathy to the consumers. Empathy is just to be in the shoe of the customer and to understand the problem as the customers are telling you. So, listen to the complaint very properly. Try to improve on the complaints can be one way of showing empathy. Providing some sort of tangible aspects to the service can be one parameters through which the empathy can be improved. Other thing which is a challenge in service is basically the acceptance of the new services, or challenges of trustworthiness. Majority of time, new service providers face with this particular challenge, whereby a service provider is offering something new, but the customers are trusting the old service provider, and there is a constant issue of trustworthiness among the customers. So this also plays a very important role in service. Other than this, there are some non-product competition which the service market basically face. Services does not get the competition from the different service firms, but as well as they get the competition from different other service firms who are not providing the service. That comes under the category of non-product competition. So these are some of the challenges. Moving forward, there are some more challenges which are there in the services. So let us now see what are they. Communication. Communication is yet another big challenge in the service. Services are basically marketed in an interactive way, where there are three parties which are involved. The first is customer, the second is organization or a company, and the third one is employee. So company communicate with the customers, that comes under external communication, while company communicates with the employees, that comes under internal communication. And when the customer and employees basically interact, so that comes under the interactive communication. A company need to basically provide an external communication and tell the same type of communication to the employees, so that the interactive communication will become very important. Otherwise, there will be a communication gap, and something which has been promised to the customer will not be delivered by the employees. So this also remains a challenge. Then passion of the staff. Majority of time, service provider don't do their job passionately. There are constant complaint of the customers that the staff is not very passionate about or enthusiastic about doing a particular job. So that is where the problem of passion basically comes into play. A company need to, or a service provider need to train the consumer well to provide the service with a passion. The next issue is related to pricing a service. services are basically provided by both the players, organized and unorganized. There are some small player in the service industry, while there are some big player. So pricing remains always an issue. Some unorganized or small players may cost a service at a very low, or may price a service at a very low rate, while the same service can be at a very higher rate by an organized service provider, or by a brand of a service. So you need to differentiate a service just to basically make the service, the pricing not a challenge for the service. And the last challenge for the service is challenge related to customizations and standardization. So customers want the customized service, and the firms also want them to provide with the customized service, but it is a costly affair. Majority of times, as a service provider, we want the services to be more standardized. So how much customization is needed and how much standardization is needed, there is always a fight between these two parameters, and this also is a very big challenge in the service marketing. So in this video we have seen two major objectives which were our learning objective. First is how the services are classified, so classification of services, as well as challenge in service marketing. Here I conclude our topic, which is called as classification and challenges of service. I wish you all the best and happy learning. Thank you.